everybody. We have done this intro before, but we're going to try again because I didn't press record on the computer. So, welcome to this channel. Normally it's a channel about knitting, but today we are doing the Seamstress tag that was initiated by Holly, that is the host of the Holly Sews vlog on YouTube. And today I have for the first time a guest. And this is one of my best friends, and we've been friends for a really long time, for 11 years, and she's a very proficient sewer. So we are going to participate in the Seamstress tag and go through all the 12 questions. And the first question is, who are you?
Hello everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I live in South Africa, in Joburg, and I love to sew.
Yeah, true story. True. So you guys already know me if you watch this channel, but my name is Millicent, and I am an occupational therapist by day, but I love sewing, and I want to have a handmade wardrobe. So that is what I do. I mostly sew clothes, not really anything else. But yes, cool. Yeah. So
Next question.
When and why did you start sewing?
That one's an easy one for me. My mom has always sewn since I can remember, and I just remember being a very little girl sitting next to her, or being literally enthralled by the things that she put together. I think that's where it started for me. So I've always done small little projects at school, but then when I left school, I started seriously upping my wardrobe with some bigger projects, and yeah, the rest was history.
Yeah, so I can really say she is quite skilled in terms of, if I have to compare the two of us, she definitely has more skill than I do. So I started sewing. I've always been interested in fashion, and I actually thought that I would become a fashion designer, but it didn't work. It is not what I ended up doing. And then for my 22nd birthday, my father bought me a sewing machine. Before that, I've never sewn in my life before. But then I started sewing, and I've never stopped since. In terms of, I think the two of us was the same in terms of the timing. We both sewed a lot between when we were 22, in that area. For a few years, we made a lot of clothes, and then we started working, and we grew up, and we stopped for a long time, both of us actually at the same time. And this year I took out my sewing machine again, and I've done a lot of sewing, and she's also took out her sewing machine recently and started again. So hopefully both of us will be able to do a lot more from now on, but we both are very fond of handmade wardrobes.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one.
What is your favorite proudest make?
Okay, I actually have a very interesting story. It's a pair of pants, high-waisted pants that I made, and it's very dark, so you can't really see. But I think the magic happens added in like pockets, pattern pockets. But I think the reason why it was my proudest make is I remember buying the pattern for R5. It was a discount pattern, and it was one of those 80s patterns, and I knew that no one else would actually know how much it meant to have high-waist pants at that point. It was probably, made this probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago. It was a while back, but and it was the first time I put in a zip for pants. So that was pretty much one of my proudest moments, where it's okay, I can do this. And I think that the pants cost me 15 Rand to make. So I was like, score!
Yeah, so 15 Rand in dollars should be $1.
Yeah,
yes.
Dollar pants.
Yes, it would be $1. Just to put that in perspective for you guys. Yes.
But since then, I've realized that it's not always as efficient or cheap to make clothes.
Yeah.
Because nice.
Fabric is normally expensive.
Exactly, and nice fabric. If you're going to invest the time, you want to invest on something that's nice.
And do you still wear it?
I do.
Yes.
Actually, I wear it to work, which is quite interesting, because like high-waist pants are always quite smart, and I put in pleats and odd pockets. So I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So I sort of modified it a little bit as well. There was Yeah.
So yeah, you can see. There we go. Very cool.
Yeah, so they're like lower, and yeah, I've actually gotten a few compliments, but I think it's the pockets as well. It's like these little bit of surprise because it's sort of it poofs open when you wear it because it basically flares open over the hips. So it's quite nice to see that little.
I love it. I love the fabric as well.
Yeah, so I do actually still wear it. I think maybe that's why it's my proudest make because it was my first, not my first try, but it was one of the first garments that I thought that, okay, this actually looks like I can wear it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Doesn't always go well when you sew. No, definitely not. Okay, mine is one I did share on my knitting podcast before. It's a little bit wrinkled, but it is a summer jacket. Oh, let me see. And the reason why it's my proudest make, when I made this was about 5 years ago, and at that time I didn't have the skill I have now, so my skill level was very beginner. So, and it's very neat, even if I have to say so myself. So it has pockets on the front, and it has that detail there, and it has these loops, and everything is actually very neat. If I look at it now, I actually can't believe that I made it with the skill level that I had at the time.
But I also think you were smart in the choice of fabric. And also because you can, it's linen, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's something that it's a really good fabric to start with, I think, because it gives you that flexibility, but also you can just iron it straight.
Yeah.
And you can sew again. So I think
definitely
it was very a good choice for your first, well, one of your first pieces, I think. And also it's beautiful. It's like a very neutral color.
And it's very timeless in terms of the style. So I still wear it. It's getting worn out a little bit because I wear it a lot. So, and that's why it's so wrinkled, because it was in my sewing cupboard, because there's some things that I just need to pull together again. But this was definitely my proudest make.
So will you make it again?
I will make it again, especially if it's worn out. I don't want to...
And if you have to choose another fabric, would you...
I was actually thinking about it, because at the moment those sort of silky jackets are in style, those sporty.
Yeah.
And it has a similar shape. If you just make it plain here without the buckle, it's going to have the same sort of style. Yeah, so I will make it again, definitely. Yes. That's so that is that one. Okay, most disastrous make.
Oh, yeah, that was a difficult one.
Yeah, for both of us. We don't keep the things that go wrong.
No.
But a lot of things has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think very often for me it's because if I had the wrong fabric choice with the pattern, then in the middle of it I would realize it, and then I think now, actually, when I talk about that, I have one that it's a skirt that I made, but I made it out of suiting fabric, and I think I can't remember. So it was sort of, it was brushed a little bit, but it was so difficult to work with.
Oh, man.
And I decided for some reason, I don't know why, I was suiting, that I decided to pleat it, but not, what do you call it?
Gathering.
Yeah, it's basically, the whole skirt was gathered.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Wrong choice, number one. I never finished it, and it was really expensive material. So it felt like why did I do this? So I would say that that's probably my most disastrous make.
I agree with her. So none of us have formal training in terms of sewing. And one of the things I think is very valuable is to learn about textiles and what works with what. So what we do is we buy fabric that's pretty, and then...
And think it's going to look, you can imagine it, but you don't exactly understand what it will do once you tailor it to a certain shape or...
And that still happens.
But it's good to practice, and I think it's good to make those mistakes.
Yeah.
It gives you an eye when you see something, you sort of know what it can become, and it's like part of the development and the design, I guess. So
yeah, I have the same thing. So that same, not having the fabric not match the pattern, and then, but I don't finish it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and then I don't. Then I just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can feel the urge to sing. Let it go.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we have the same place.
Pretty much.
Of the bales.
And I think it's for everyone in Joburg, actually.
Yes.
It's really one of those I think the store started, I forget the date, but it's practically a family-owned store, and they take so much care with what they import and how they source their fabrics. And it's always such a pleasure to go in there and to see if they. And I think they have fabrics that they unroll, and then so that's, I think, one of the biggest reasons. So if you don't take it immediately, you won't find it the next week.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
You have to buy what you see. If you like it, you buy it. Otherwise, you're not going to have it. They don't have a huge variety, and their haberdashery is quite small. So if you have a specific zip and things that you look for, you can't find it there. But the fabric is amazing. Very good quality, awesome prints,
and
lovely people.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that the only thing is that if you don't want to buy anything, you shouldn't go in there.
Yes. You always buy more than you need.
Exactly, and
every time.
Yeah, I never leave without something.
You can't go there and just for buttons.
Exactly,
doesn't work.
No.
And it's also the yarn store, which makes it difficult. Yeah. Fabric, yarn, everything. Yeah, and they have a very nice section. It's not very busy where you can look at the patterns, so it's very nice to sit there and browse through the patterns. In the big stores, I always feel like I have to go quickly.
Yeah,
or, I don't know.
Yeah,
they're very patient if you can't make up your mind and all of that. So it's a very
and it doesn't smell funny.
Yes, that's true.
Because a lot of fabric stores, especially if it's a big warehouse, because it's big fabrics and it's been stored a long while, it just. Arthur Bales is really fresh.
Yes.
It's quite good.
We love it. And it's very close to both of us.
Yes, exactly.
Which is a good and a bad thing.
Yeah, sometimes bad.
So we go if we're bored. And then we go there. And then we buy things. And that is Adidas.
Yeah,
it is
South African bird.
South African bird.
That's very anxious and always yells.
Very loud. Not our favourite.
No.
But... Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, we're rolling.
Sorry.
So I actually don't have my most used pattern here because I've lent it to one of our other friends that also sew. I brought my second most used pattern, and it is a batik pattern, and it's one of those retro patterns from 56. Oh, there you go. And I think the silhouette I really find very flattering, and it's very easy to add in a bit of a seam or to alter. So, and also I find it, the first one that I made, I got so many compliments when I wore it, so I was just like, okay, this is a keeper.
And the fit of that is really perfect on your shape.
Yeah, and also because it has a few, so I've made it in various lengths. I've changed the, I didn't actually change the sleeves, but it's more the hemming I would alter, and that was, I think, it was quite versatile in the end. I never made the jacket though. It's a bit old lady-ish, but it's a nice jacket too.
Yeah, well, I think
one day, I think, but
if you take off the collar,
maybe
then it's just round.
Yeah,
that would work.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's perfect. Cool. So mine is actually also one. You don't have one of those dresses anymore, do you? At the moment that you
No,
wear?
I actually gave the dress away because I seasonally would unpack and sort of clean and give stuff away if I don't wear it anymore. But this one, the fabric that I used, it bled a lot. So it was a very dark, it was actually this color. So it was, the hue was really intense. And then I think after the fourth wash, it was just very pale. So then after a while, the color wasn't very fashionable.
Sorry, the door closed.
Yeah, the color was actually quite difficult to work with, and that's why I gave it away. It wasn't the fit, it was the fabric.
Yeah, the fabric.
Again, fabric choices are important.
Fabric choices. We're learning.
Exactly.
Okay, mine is this picture again with patterns. Don't look at the picture. Look at the drawing because the fabric choices aren't always great. But this is a pattern with pants with wide legs. And this has been out of style for a while, but it's back in fashion now. And I had 2 of these pants that I wore until they were done. And I loved it. So I'm planning to make one of these again for me. I don't often make a pattern twice. I don't buy... Also, when I buy clothes, I will never buy 2 of the same thing, even if I like it. So it's just not something I do. But this one, I really like the fit. Pants are difficult to fit, and this fit me just as is. So I didn't have to do any alterations, which is great.
And flared pants are very in fashion now.
Yeah.
It's really a trend. I think people are just like moving away from skinnies, and this is really good. I think you should make it now.
And I actually have fabric in my fabric stash that I can use.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that one. The one with it's almost an exposed pleat, so you could see it, you would see the pleat.
Beauty. Yeah, I agree with you. And I had a one in wool. It was a purple dark plum wool fabric, and the other one I made in a grey linen. So I had like one for summer and one for winter, and I loved it. I wore it a lot. Yes, so it's this one.
Okay, my favorite sewing task would be to actually prepare the pattern and to cut it out of the fabric. I think it might be the it's a bit more geometric, well, not geometric, planning beforehand, which I enjoy, to lay it out and then kind of see how all the patterns need to fit out to really use the fabric efficiently. I would say, and I always get a kick when it does just work out really nicely, especially when you bought just too little fabric and you're like, okay, I'm going to try and stretch this, and you get it done. I think that's because I think they sort of over-engineer, or when the quantities, they'll probably allow for a little bit more sometimes, but it's not always the case. So you do, especially with sleeves and things, you sort of take a chance. But I've had many time where I've actually did it well. Yeah. So I think that's my favorite task.
I think you're also really good with that because of your design sort of background. And the technical aspect of it too.
It's sort of playing Tetris also, and to kind of see where you can cut short, you know, or where So it's I think that's definitely quite fun.
For me, it's doing sort of putting in the darts and then doing the side seams, the shoulder seams and the side seams, so that you have the garment. Because the finishing takes quite a while, but if you have that, then I feel okay, great. So going from the 2D to the 3D is what I like. Okay, so my favorite sewing entertainment is audiobooks, and my go-to is Jane Austen, because Jane Austen is awesome. But I also enjoy watching vlogs on YouTube and about sewing, and I do enjoy knitting podcasts.
Yeah, that's good. I think we also discussed that it's good to kind of have something that's more audio instead of visual, because you are obviously focused on the garment. I normally put it on a movie, or I would watch series. Well, Gilmore Girls.
Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, Gilmore Girls.
We lied about all the other things. Our favorite sewing entertainment is Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, yes. It's one of those things that, because we've watched it a couple of times, so you can just put it on and you still laugh because you see the scene in your brain. Yes. Yeah, so I would say Gilmore Girls pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Printed.
I will buy a pattern if it's PDF, and that's the only option, and I really want the pattern. So I won't avoid it, but if I can get the printed version, I definitely would rather go for that.
To be honest, I've never done PDF, but it is a bit tricky with having to match things up. So maybe I should try it, and then I'll answer the question.
But also, you can draft patterns.
I can.
So she has no need.
Yeah. Well,
for a pattern.
I think.
So
maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's also. Fine. So I'm getting to that point where I can, because I take sewing classes. So I can see that if you draft your own patterns, that you just won't need to buy patterns, because you can basically get any shape you want. Yeah. So we have the same one.
Yeah, this is easy. It's
easy.
It's heavy. Okay. Ta-da!
So this is both of our most prized possession.
I didn't bring mine. It was too heavy, but... Well, no, not too heavy, but we have the same one.
Exactly the same one.
No,
we also have the same cars.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a matchy thing.
I think I speak for both of us if we say that this is our most prized possession. More important than our cars, more important than anything we own.
It's pretty much... I think people ask the question, what would you save in case of a fire? Pretty much this.
So it is a it's not a beginner machine. It has a lot of features. It's an electronic machine. It's a BERNINA.
And I think the speed control is pretty significant on this. It kind of gives you a lot of, I don't know, control over whatever you're sewing, which I think has been very useful and very impressive.
And it also has embroidery stitches on it, a few. It comes, I think, with 5 feet standard.
I don't think I have all 5 feet anymore. I know, judgment.
What happened? No, but you got it from your mother.
Yeah, so I inherited mine. Well, not okay. My mom just gave it to me. But, she was lucky enough to upgrade, so I was lucky enough to get the downgrade, which is really good. So I think maybe that's why I don't have all 5 anymore.
Yeah, you must just go through her.
I should, but she has an amazing machine now, so I would feel like I just want to take those.
Take her machine, yeah. So this is a really, really good machine. I saw online that people say you don't have to buy a good machine. You can when you start out. But I think we both disagree that having a good machine makes
a big difference.
It makes sewing a lot easier. We never struggle with tension or...
Yeah, what I would suggest is if you don't know if you like sewing or you want to try it out, then maybe start with something simple or maybe borrow a machine. But if you're going to make the investment, it's like there's, I think, a margin where it's actually worthwhile investing a little bit more.
Yeah, well, this machine will probably last my lifetime. So unless I want to do something fancy that...
Yeah, they also had one in the range that was completely, it was an electronic, I forget the code, which I was super interested in.
Oh, yes.
Because it's almost like an old car, you can sort of fix it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know if they make it anymore. So anyway, I do have high hopes for this one.
We love our machines. Really. Okay, other hobbies, knitting. So I knit a lot. Knitting is my favorite hobby, but I can crochet and I like crafty things, but I would say knitting.
I'm torn because I'm very keen sewer, but I've tried knitting, or I have.
You can knit.
I can knit. I just haven't knitted enough to really say I can.
Yeah. And it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while. I actually still have that same...
I think with any craft is you have to do it enough that you get to a point where you have the skill before it can become a hobby, because otherwise it's just
frustrating. Yeah. So, I would say other hobbies...
Do you like cooking?
I do. Cooking more than baking.
Yes.
And, I would say... I'll try most things actually. Like I'll try most hobbies. I think
maybe not fishing.
No, but that's not a hobby. That's an excuse.
So, fiber and textile related hobbies.
Yes, there you go.
Like.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't have anybody tagged because all the seamstress people that vlog have already put a video up like this, and I don't know of anybody else that vlogs on a regular basis, so I don't have anybody to tag. But if you're watching this and you feel like joining in, please do. We enjoy watching the videos. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.